Hey everybody, my name is Jared and I am a Master Mason in the state of Mississippi in the United States of America. And today's viewer question is a tricky one. The viewer asks, are you going to go past Master Mason? The reason this is a tricky question is because there are at least three that I know of ways to describe past Master Mason. Now, please understand the wording of the question. When somebody is interested about whether or not you're going to decide to become, for example, a Scottish Rite Mason or a Shriner or a York Rite Mason, they usually ask the question, are you going to go Scottish Rite? Are you going to go York Rite? So what we're talking about here is basically, am I going to receive the past Master Mason degree? Well, let's talk about those three possibilities for being a past Master Mason. And to start this off, I am all three of these. So it's a little bit of complication between what the differences are between these three, but I can give you some insight onto how I feel about all three of them. So the first is that of the strict title of the Worshipful Master of a Lodge, that you have been one in the past. So you are a past master. Okay? So what this means is that whenever your lodge elects officers and you are elected to be the worshipful master of a lodge, here in the state of Mississippi, again, because that's the only thing I know for sure, the second that you are installed into that position, you are also then a past master, because from that moment on, if you were to leave, you have been the master. So you also retain the title of past master. Okay, so it's a title based on the position that you were elected to by your fellow members in the lodge. Okay, and it even has a certain special emblem that goes with it, and the ring that my wife bought for me when I was elected to become the worshipful master the first time is a past master ring. I opted not to get any kind of a ring until after I had become elected as the past master. So I went several years of being a master mason before I got into having a ring. And that was just personal preference. So then what are the other two options? Well, in Mississippi, once you have been elected to be a worshipful master, you are eligible to receive what is called the actual past master degree. So this is a degree, this is a ceremony, a ritual, a lesson that is put on for you to learn more about the duties of a master of the lodge. Now, there's something to be said for this, because there are some great lessons to be had in that degree. But with 230 some odd lodges just in our state, you can imagine the difficulty of trying to put that degree on in the time between when you are elected to be the master of your lodge and the time that you are installed, which for my lodge is the very beginning of December and the very end of December. So you have perhaps 3 weeks in which to receive that degree if you were to receive it before you were installed. I think ideally, with the information that is presented in that degree, you would want to receive it before you are installed. But in our state, the way it is currently offered is at the next Grand Lodge meeting, which is usually in March, you can go and receive that degree at the Grand Lodge meeting. So all of the newly elected worshipful masters, anybody who hasn't received it in the past that is a past master, can decide to get the degree at that time. So it leaves you running your lodge from January and February, potentially March, before you receive that extra bit of instruction that can help you run your lodge more efficiently. But that's not to say you have to have it, which is probably why it's just an optional degree. But once you receive it, you become an actual past master, and here in the state of Mississippi, they even give you a special dues card showing that you received that degree of actual past master. So, then what is the third? Well, the third is a degree that is inside of the York Rite. In the York Rite degrees, the very first degree is the Mark Master, and then the second is the Virtual Past Master degree. So this has, again, some very valuable lessons inside of it, but it does not confer any particular title onto you as being a past master. You received a degree that had some information about being the master of a lodge, pseudo master of a lodge, but it does not grant you the title of being able to say I am a past master or I am an actual past master or anything like that. You simply received a degree in the York Rite. Now, another interesting little tidbit here, and again, for the sake of disclosure, I am no historian. I am saying I'm going to repeat something that I have heard, and I do not know of its validity. But I am given to understand that once upon a time, in the York Rite, you did have to have been a master of a lodge or the past master of a lodge before you could receive that degree and go further in the York Rite. And over time that was changed. The degree was turned into a virtual past master degree where they could learn some of the lessons about it and continue their studies in the York Rite and keep brothers moving forward and not have to wait until they were eligible or elected to be masters of their lodge. I think that there's probably a couple different reasons that could be, but I'm not going to speculate on those any further. But those are the three different past master titles or degrees that are involved in Freemasonry that I am aware of. So there's the just to recap, the virtual past master in the York Rite degree, the actual past master, which is a special and set apart degree, and then there is being the past master, past sitting master of a Blue Lodge. It's hard to try to think of another way to try to say that, but where you have actually been elected to the position of worshipful master in the past. Maybe that clarifies things. So I personally, again, have been through all three of them, and I think they're wonderful. So to answer the initial question, I'm not going to receive those degrees. I already have. So I hope that answers your question. And for anybody out there, if you have been elected to be the worshipful master, or whenever you reach that that distinction, I hope that you look for that degree. Look for the actual past master degree. Ask about that in your jurisdiction. Find out what's available and how it's done and how quickly you can receive it after you've been elected, because I think it would be of a tremendous benefit to you. And if you go through it in the York Rite degree and also receive that, well, then all the better, to just get a little bit more information about how to conduct business as the master of a lodge. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any other questions, please leave them down in the comments below, and I will do my best to get to them. We'll see you next time.